That's right.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another. One could call this the first official edition of waterLOGged teachings.
Yippee!
I don't know. I figured we should have a distinct starting soon screen, so I threw something together right before we went live. But
It's beautiful and the perfect level of effort.
Yes.
exactly.
No,
Anyways, today we have an additional person here. Introduce yourself, Mora.
Hi, I'm Mora. I play Magic the Gathering. I play Limited, and I play at a high level a lot. And I test with Sanctum and have worked with the PT team and Worlds team a bunch. It's nice to... I've watched a lot of Dark Exploration. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, so today the Arena Open happened, and various things happened. I don't know how much I want to get into that. Maybe later. But from the various things that happened, we have a bunch of draft logs that we can review.
Definitely a bunch of drafts happened.
Yes,
this is true.
So this one is Ryan's. I guess we can see the record is draft one. They went 2-2. I have one from my draft one was a pretty straightforward soup draft, and we've done a lot of log reviews of soup drafts already, so we figured that probably isn't that interesting. But my draft 2 log was interesting. We'll also look at that. I don't know if you had interesting ones, Maura?
Not really, no. Both my drafts were pretty railroaded, streamlined. I do have a log if we want to go through a quick third one for my first draft, because I think there were some interesting spots, but
yeah, we'll see. Anyways, so yeah, shall we jump into it?
Yeah, let's get into it. So this is my first draft. Jason's driving, though. I think it's fun when the person who doesn't know what's going on is driving, so that we can kind of go at that pace where we're exploring a new draft.
Yeah.
I think this one is a pretty clear what we're picking first, though.
Yes, I'm a huge Sunstar Lightsmith fan.
yeah.
Maybe someone could yell at me that Alpha Rail is very strong, but I would somewhat doubt them.
Yeah,
I'm not interested in doing that.
Sure is a 5 out of 3-3.
I guess if you really, really, really liked green, you could take Multitrader's Resolve as another strong card. But
we already have a strong green card.
Yeah, so I feel like you can just put Lightsmith in your strong green deck and be happy.
Exactly. Also, thank you so much for the Prime subscription, Nicole. Hope you enjoy our draft log reviews. Yeah, I think this is pretty obvious. Yes. Okay, so we have a Lightsmith. And we see a Mutinous Massacre and other cards.
This is true.
I kind of think we should just take Mutinous Massacre.
Yeah, it's a really good card, and none of the other cards are that good, so...
Yeah, we could just end up in a black-red deck. We might splash Lightsmith, we might not. We could just be in a white deck and not play the Mutinous Massacre. We have a bunch of options all around the table still, but it's clearly the strongest card in the pack.
Mm-hmm. I think that if this was another Lightsmith, I would rather take the other Lightsmith or something.
I agree.
But Pulsar Squadron Ace is I do not think is it's not. I don't think it's even top common level. At least that's
I see it as kind of a medium card. It doesn't draw a card most of the time, so it's mostly a 2-mana 2/3 with a counter, which is nice, but you can replace it pretty easily.
Yep.
Yeah, so Massacre here. Hey, it's a 2-mana 2/3 that tells you what the bottom 5 cards of your library are. Don't discount that.
Love information.
Well, given that we have a very expensive card of very stringent colors, and also I like the card All Fate Scroll.
Yeah,
and we have a card in a third color.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I just
scroll.
I think All Fate Scroll is I think worth also talking about Zoo Fit, and that I think we people I've talked to and myself have come down on that card a bit. I don't. It's like good, but not. I think
Yeah,
amazing.
I would say like more than a bit. I was expecting it to be quite strong, and it really does not feel that way. Similar to like the 1/1 scrap something, the 1/1 menace. Maybe we did a log of that last week, Jason. I forget where
You're talking about like
cards just
Rust
not actually
Harvester
that
or something?
strong. Rust Harvester. Yeah.
This one.
Yeah.
That one. Like weirdly getting meaningful stuff into your yard is somewhat challenging in this set. I think a lot of the development just happens on board and stuff doesn't go to the yard super easily. So that's part of why Zoophyte has been tough to make work. And yeah, I don't see it as anything but like pretty replacement level ish 3-drop.
It's
So
been a
I'm
bit
pretty happy with the scroll.
in like black decks. It's been a little bit better than that for me. Like I definitely have had games where it's kind of gone off and like done stuff no other card could. But I also like have had hit its fail cases. I think it's like a little bit above replacement, but it's like kind of like middling low uncommon, and scroll is like quite nice.
I agree with that. Slightly above replacement level.
But consider, if you have Zoophyte out, you can tap it to put something onto the battlefield, then cast Mutinous Massacre, untapping Zoophyte.
And give whatever you put on the battlefield haste.
Exactly.
That's or destroy it. This is what we call a combination effect in the industry.
Yeah, I also like that All Fate Scroll is just like independently good with Lightsmith. Like even if we're not playing Massacre, it's good with Lightsmith. I just think it's the strongest card.
Yeah.
Okay, now this is interesting because I think now you could like justify like quite a few cards in this pack. The ones that stand out to me are Luminary, Ace, if you think that card is good, which I don't, Orbital Plunge, Embrace Oblivion.
Yeah.
That's also what stood out to me. I think one of those I have a pretty strong preference towards, and I'm wondering if you agree.
I have a pretty strong preference for Orbital Plunge, given that we have a Mutinous Massacre.
That was also my preference.
It's also my preference. What a coincidence.
Yeah, I think it works better with like both of our cards than like Luminary.
Yeah, I also think they have. I also think just like on raw power, it's kind of the card I have highest in this pack.
Yep. If this were a pack 1/1, it's what I would be taking.
That's pretty reasonable, yeah. Okay. So far we've agreed on everything. Surely we'll stop agreeing at some point.
Oh yeah.
I don't hate taking a Memorial Team Leader.
You do or don't hate it?
I don't hate it.
Okay.
I don't love it.
Hate it? Yeah, it's just like a clunky 4-drop.
What do you want to take otherwise?
Can you guess?
Decode Transmissions.
That is correct. You nailed it.
I
think like
I'm just very low on this card.
That's very fair. I'm also somewhat low on it, but I think in a deck that isn't likely to be touching blue, given that like we're multicolored already, neither blue nor green, and if we are touching a fourth color, it's likely to be green for fixing. Blue is the color that has the most like distinct card advantage in this format, and so Decode I think I like a lot better in non-green, non-blue decks, and that is specifically where we are.
Sure, but like we have a Lightsmith and an All Fate Scroll already. Like,
yeah, this is true.
We already do have card advantage, and like I feel like Decode's secretly not that good with Massacre
because you're like losing life and not developing on board.
Yeah, like I think you want to like develop on board. I don't know. I kind of would rather take like Skywarden or Chrome Companion or Memorial Team Leader.
Yeah, I mean none of them are like that appealing. So I guess like what is out of those like 3 dorky creatures, like what is the most appealing?
I think Team Leader for sure is just like the best card of those 3, right?
Maybe.
Probably, yeah. It's good if we're in like red white with a bunch of the 3/2s. Also, I want to mention because Nicole mentioned in chat, considering Seam Rip, I'm personally quite low on that card.
I am also quite low on the card.
It doesn't really hit many relevant things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like even though it's like good at double spelling, it's just not really killing things you want to kill.
Yeah, like it's kind of just like you and your opponent both discard a card, but like your opponent's card may have like done something.
Yeah, yeah. I think team leader is reasonable.
Yeah,
A third four is like pretty awkward at this stage in the draft, so I think that's why I was like not loving team leader, but I could see it if we just think decode is like not not particularly playable.
then just take Chrome Companion. You know, woof woof.
Yeah.
I
Fair
like go
enough.
back and forth whether I think Chrome Companion is a playable card.
Woof woof.
Like
Me too.
I alternate between playing it in a deck and then being like, I don't want to touch this card.
It's so
like,
cute.
It is. This is true.
Anyways, huh?
What colors do we think are open?
Not green.
Not green.
Not
Certainly.
really.
I mean, I guess you're supposed to take like grab kill. I don't love it. This card doesn't have good stats, right? Or like, and isn't good.
So.
I think we checked the other day. Yeah, I've played it before, and I've had it played against me and be decent. It's like if you really need a 2-drop, it can be fine. Obviously, a little better when you have a bunch of landers, but it's not anything special.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the thing is,
in fact, you like pretty actively don't want to play it in most decks.
So I guess the things on the table. Things on the table here are Grav Kill, Radiant Strike, Embrace, and like Monolith Sentry, maybe.
Yeah, I agree. Those are the things that are on the table. I don't love any of them. Like Monolith Sentry. Maybe I'm most into Monolith Sentry. Actually, I don't love it.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me it's that or Grav Kill probably.
I don't love that Grav Kill costs 4 mana. So much
this
mana.
Is true.
I agree. But this is why we didn't take Memorial Team Leader, you know?
Well, I don't think Decode Transmissions does not help.
That's true.
This card also costs 4 mana.
Although I would say it's better in a deck with a lot of removal.
Barely. Sorry, not in a deck with a lot of expensive removal, right?
This is fair. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, this is just like a very like weird pack where we don't have a lot of options. It's really clear what's open, but it's not clear what we're supposed to do with it.
I don't care what's open. I need to go on a rant at some point and talk about how like the concept of openness is fake news.
All right, what I should would it help if I clarified it to available to us?
Sure.
Yeah, like
that's basically what I mean when I say open.
Yeah, like green is not open. We cannot take green cards.
Sure.
Maybe we can take green cards pack 2, but we cannot take green cards right now because they're not in the pack, so it's just not open.
Well, okay, so it's like I agree that like we only have 5 cards in our pool, but like I don't know. I feel like at this point I don't like care that much about Grab Kill because I assume we can get this pretty easily, and I wish that we had seen something like better. But yeah. Like there's nothing that stands out. Okay, here I want to take Night Luminary. I think. Like, I don't know.
With the Graph Kill, I think I agree.
We already have 2. I guess. Okay, I guess maybe we're not white. Okay, but like I don't want to take Voidborn, so.
I never want to take Voidborn. I mean, I think it's probably Luminary or Focus Fire, right?
Luminary makes more sense. I agree. Those are the things that make the most sense, unless you think that Rammer is better than Luminary, which I don't currently think.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. We have 2 removal spells and a Mutinous Massacre. I want more board presence, I guess.
That makes sense.
Makes sense. I was, I think, worried about like deep cards and defensive speed, and Luminary is kind of that, but it's kind of not. So I went with Focus Fire.
Mm-hmm. I guess this is also more splashable.
You're in the CFT sense, like, yeah, it's more splashable is one thing, and we can kind of fix our problems later in a sense of like taking, you know, enough creatures eventually, whereas I think it's harder to fix, like we just don't have ways to not die early.
I feel like Night Luminary is pretty good at not dying. Is the thing.
Yeah,
Like-
I think that's true.
No, I think it's reasonable, and I'm thinking
It's
about
also
it now,
better
I'm leaning more
at
towards it.
Focus Fire. I would say is slightly better at double spelling than Luminary is.
Not on your turn.
No, I'd say it's slightly worse.
I agree.
because
Like
it's
Luminary,
the
like
timing.
warp creatures are good at double spelling. Like just
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah, and I think something like Focus Fire, like
Yeah.
anything with a timing
It's
restriction.
possible I've just had
is a lot
like
harder.
many times where my opponent has blocked after I've left up Focus Fire and cast Sunstar. It may be like just the fact that that's happened to me like 4 times and I'm over indexing on that. I don't know.
No, don't get me wrong. I have in fact played turn 5 the Sunstar Lightsmith, leave up a very suspicious white, make a very suspicious attack, and my opponent has taken the bait. But I would not expect that to happen at a PT level.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
would describe it more as like I make an attack that's extremely awkward for them to not engage in at all, if that makes sense.
Sure.
But that
Yeah.
obviously seems you can't assume that you're going to be like ahead on board.
You definitely like can set that up, especially if you're a deck with like maybe a bunch of Night Luminaries or something where you just have enough gummy board presence that they kind of have to react, but we're not really set up well for that right now. With something like Mutinous Massacre and All Fate Scroll, we kind of are like playing catch up a little bit more.
Yeah.
Am I a Wormwall Sweeper believer?
Are you?
In our like 0
Am
creature
I?
deck.
We'll fix it later. I thought we had a deal. I mean, maybe I hate the other cards too much. Like maybe Skittermaw is fine. Maybe Voidborn's fine.
What do you think about Swarm Color?
I don't want to take something that costs 4 and wants us to have a bunch of trinkety stuff around when we have already tacked a lot into like removal and decidedly not trinkety things.
This is fair.
Like I would rather take Skittermaw definitely. Like if I were to take a black card, it would be Skittermaw.
Honestly, I think Skittermaw is probably what I'd want to take here. Like I think like maybe a Sweeper. I just don't love Sweeper.
Oh, this Sweeper, not this Sweeper.
Oh no, Terminal Velocity is not on my radar. That card is awful.
Yeah, I mostly don't know how I feel about Sweeper. But I wanted to mention it.
Understandable.
What does Sweeper do in the chat? Clearly not a highly played card. I should have taken Skittermaw here. I think Swarm Color was just like the card that I evaluated best in a vacuum, but that's wrong, I think. Like with the deck we have currently, Skittermaw is better.
I'm also not convinced that Swarm Color is the best. Is the better card in a vacuum.
I am also not convinced. I think that card's very medium.
I've been like,
I also think the rest of the pack is very medium.
I started out like decently like okay on Color, and I've also been like going steadily down, and I think I'm still in that process of like getting lower on the card.
Wow, it's another Swarm Color. I want to take the whole Carver.
It's a whole Carver.
Nice.
Yep, defensive speed, creature. We like it.
Maybe you hate Chrome Companion enough to not take it. I do like auxiliary boosters.
Boosters is just like a nice card, and I don't really know what colors I'm in yet. Like we could easily be black-white, especially with this Focus Fire. So I was going for the like most powerful card again, even though we have a lot of expensive stuff.
I have a question.
Your question related to the reflecting.
So, legitimate question. Does this like help?
Yes. No, it does. The reflecting pool is good at double pip. That is what it's good at.
Yeah, but like, does it help more than it hurts? Because reflecting pool is not a very good land, right?
Oh, probably not.
Yeah.
You're saying generally, yeah. No, I'm not a fan.
I think it's pretty unlikely at this point in the draft that I'm planning to end up in like 3 colors where I would want reflecting pool, or like a bunch of double pips of different colors, more specifically. So like, I don't know. I think it's pretty unlikely that we're gonna want. I just like auxiliary boosters as a card. I think it's a good card.
For the record, I agree with this pick. I wanted to bring up reflecting pool just as a discussion point. I love discussion points.
I think you definitely will play Reflecting Pool in some of your decks, but I don't think you need to ever like prioritize it. It's just if you end up with it in your pool, you should think carefully about whether or not you should play it.
I had a deck that hilariously assembled Reflecting Pool plus Crystal Quarry like 3 games in 3 matches.
I saw that deck and I was like not sure that playing that pair was right.
I mean, I had like a bunch of like land name cares, like things that cared about land names. You know?
That's fair. Maybe I didn't
That's
notice that
fair,
part. Yeah.
Also, I had like I had like at least one command bridge for the Reflecting Pool to work with. So.
Amazing.
And it came up in 3 games, and 2 of them it was very relevant. Like one of them I very much like played like Crystal Quarry turn 1, Reflecting Pool turn 2, cast my like 2-mana spell that uses like some random color that I would have no chance of having at that point in the game.
That's very funny.
Anyways, don't try that at home, kids. Skittermoth? Question mark? I'm not very
With
high.
like a sideboard card.
I feel like you're too low on Skittermoth.
I might be too low on Skittermaw.
Like, I don't love it. But
I also think I'm too low on Skittermaw. Yeah, I would like these last 2 picks made me realize this.
This is best of 3, yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't value temporal intervention that highly.
I've been impressed by it, but I am not like crazy high on it.
I would say I've been anti-impressed by it in that I've taken it, put it in my sideboard, decided it in, and been like, this was probably correct to side in, but I didn't. But I don't really like it.
What do you not like about it? Is it just like
it just didn't feel like a good card. Like, I don't know. Like, I sided it in against like my opponent who had like a high pool, which my like soup deck could never beat, and I was like, okay, I'll cast Temporal Intervention. Okay, great. I'll take something. That didn't feel like a good trade, and then later they top deck high pool and killed me anyways.
damn?
Yeah, I mean, it's a type of card that has cases where it's bad, and you're playing it because the downside is like relatively low, and that it's still traded for a card, and the upside is you in a game that you would have lost to their bomb.
Like, what I'm saying is that like, I don't know. I think that Thoughtseize is just not very good and limited.
I agree with this, right? But I do think it is like a sideboard card that you will want access to sometimes. I think Skittermaw, if like we're planning on main decking it, I would want to take it, but I'm like unsure of that. I might still be too low on it though.
I mean, you do have a bunch of removal, which does make it better.
Yeah,
Right, which does make it better for sure.
Yeah. Are we silencing people? Probably not.
I mean, Dark Endurance is highly.
We do have one Hulk Harbor.
Like,
I think you need to do a lot with Silencer before it becomes like at all worth it.
I fully agree. Like I've seen one deck so far in this format that actually used it effectively.
I've seen 2.
yeah,
But Dark Endurance, a combat trick, and our removal heavy deck, like I don't know.
Okay, I think sometimes like again there's a lot of picks in front of us, right? I think that Dark Endurance is just a card that like is sometimes very good to side in.
Okay, I could see that. Just for protection on key creatures, mostly. That's like the reason you're siding it.
PSA, Virulent Silencer says non-token, so it like, it works with boosters in that boosters can give non-token artifacts flying, but does not work with boosters in that like the creature the boosters is itself is not going to poison your opponent.
Yeah, the non-token is very annoying on that card.
Yeah. Otherwise it would be like really strong with the blue-white uncommon. Yeah. Anyways.
yeah. Oh, that'd be crazy.
Okay, well, we have Mutinous Massacre, Orbital Plunge as our like only red card. Some black cards. I think other than the Massacre, our white is our strongest color.
Yeah, I would agree.
Okay. I would like to take a second Sunstar Lightsmith, I think.
This is also what
I agree. Just to be clear, we think Beyond the Quiet is good, but I think Lightsmith is better.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that like this also is less likely to be the kind of deck that can take advantage of Beyond the Quiet. Because like you don't have that much card advantage.
Yep. And I'm not likely to pick Mora because we're in like Mardu space, which just does not have a lot of access to card advantage in this format.
We don't have to be in Mardu space, but we are currently.
Yeah.
Okay, well, the best card in the pack
Mardu
is
space card
Possibility Technician. So
I think that's what I want to take.
I agree. I like that. I don't really like anything here.
I think I want to take a cheap red card, and I mean, Caveron Harrier is not very good when you're not like pretty aggressive, but it is a cheap play.
You can play it as a 1-mana 2/2, yes.
1-mana 2/2? What do you mean?
Or sorry, 1-mana 2/1.
Yes.
That's what I mean.
Well,
is it bad that I want to take Edge Rover?
I thought you were going to say Mouth of the Storm.
No, I don't think you should take Mouth of the Storm here. I kind of think that Edge Rover is like the best card in this pack that you can reasonably cast. Or like that you have a reasonable path towards.
Isn't Mouth of the Storm more castable if we pick up some like other landers?
I guess you could like try to like abandon black and then be like red, white, splashing mouth. Okay, that's also pretty reasonable. I definitely don't want to take a red card out of this pack. But I don't know.
There aren't really other cards to take. It's the issue.
Well, no, like what I'm saying is that I would rather take like Mouth or Edge Rover to like try to like.
It's really hard for me to see how we get into an Edge Rover deck, especially with seeing like literal no green in pack 1.
I don't know. You just pick like Galactic Wayfarer next pick and Galactic Wayfarer the pick after that.
I mean, I do think it's
and
possible,
then you have a base green deck, as Jason is used to.
I mean, I definitely have had drafts where like I can tell that I'm being hard cut off of a one, and so then pack 2, it's like, oh, I'll just take it all there, and like you really only need like maybe like 6 green cards this pack to have a solid foundation in it.
Yeah.
Like it's, I think, somewhat unlikely, but it is possible.
Like I don't know.
It's possible. I think if we're trying to be like speculative, I would prefer to take Mouth because we already have like a lander, an all fate scroll. It's easily possible that we could pick up like Kavu Land Seekers or whatever that go with our Possibility Technician and just have a Mouth of the Storm and an island in our deck and have it be like kind of nice.
Okay, let me put it this way. I don't disagree with like taking Mouth being a possibility here. I think that it's just not that distinct from taking Edge Rover. Like I think these are two very similar things because like in most versions of this deck, it is going to be very, very, very hard to splash Mouth of the Storm. Like it's going to be.
I guess I don't know if that's true. Like we already have 2 sources for it, right?
Yeah, but you already have 3 colors. Like your sources are already competing, and like there's not that many landers, right?
Yeah, there aren't that many in Mardu for sure.
But like, okay, I'm just saying, like, taking Mouth of the Storm, you need to be realistic. You're not going to play it most often. Playing it usually means you're giving up on one of your 3 colors, like probably black. Like you're definitely not playing it at the same time as Mutinous Massacre. There's no shot you're ever doing that. Like
that's interesting. Yeah, I don't know if I agree. I feel like I've seen decks. I guess because we're not base green already. You're saying.
Yeah, you're not base green, and you don't have like like you have like 2 pieces of fixing, which is like definitely below par for what you need for it. So, like if you wanted to play Mutinous Massacre, Mouth of the Storm, and Sunstar Lightsmith in your deck, you probably need to have like I don't know 7 or 8 fix things that fix you, but by the end of the draft. And that's like,
Yeah, I agree with this.
and
We're
that's
at 2 right now, so we're unlikely to
yeah.
there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think honestly, Jason has sold me on Edge Rover.
I don't think I'm sold on Edge Rover, to be honest. That
I mean,
does
I'm
not
not-
seem to me like the more realistic pick.
I'm saying
I don't
okay.
think
I
we
think
have
that
to
both.
silver up and take Edge Rover.
I think that the two are equally realistic. Is all I'm saying.
Right. I think Mouth seems higher upside and equally realistic, is what I would say. Both are unrealistic.
I guess it's like the idea of Edge Rover is if we end up in green somehow, like it's a cheap play, which I like, versus Mouth, which is top end, which is
so hard for me to imagine us ending up in green. We are deep into pack 2. And we have not seen any green whatsoever, and we are in fact in 3 separate colors.
I mean, this is why I was why I'm still like tempted to take like Havron Harrier just as a cheap play.
Yes, I think that is like a much more reasonable option than
I don't know. I just don't care about either of these red cards.
I mean, I don't love them either. Is there any thought of rescue?
I just think we could easily end up in red black splashing 2 Starlight or whatever. Right? Like, isn't that a pretty realistic possibility at this stage?
Yeah, but I don't like the red cards.
Yeah, but they're not awful, and sometimes you have to take cards you don't like if you're not in the deck that you prefer, which is soup.
Well, I think that we can I think that we are like fine on playables right now. To be clear, basically I do not believe that we will play Harrier or Bombard if we take either of them. That's my claim, basically.
Yeah, I guess I'm not sure because I could see at this point us needing to like end up choosing 2 of these 3 colors and then being short on playables because we were like in 3 colors to start the draft, right?
Personally, I will trust that won't happen. Like I believe that my belief is that I can that you can navigate the draft so that this does not happen.
Right, we can fix it later, basically, which is reasonable, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, let's move on. I guess we should take Plasma Bolt.
I think I want to take Plasma Bolt.
Unless you hate Plasma Bolt, in which case you could try to take a 7-drop, but I don't love a 7-drop.
Yeah, I also don't love 7-drop. Plasma Bolt is nice at double spelling with Lightsmith and All Fate Scroll. I think it's probably the pick. I don't love it in this format. Like, I'm pretty low on it, but it structurally makes a lot of sense in our deck.
Mm-hmm. Well, now I feel silly for taking Plasma Bolt. Shoutouts to having taken Red Rover.
Do you want to take like Lashwhip Predator?
If I had the Edge Rover, I would take Lashwhip Predator.
Huh. Fascinating.
Like, I don't know.
Like base red green?
I don't know. I'll figure it out. But like, are there playable cards in this pack?
Yeah, not really.
Like,
Plasma Bolt number 2, I would say, is playable.
Yeah. Like, without the Edge Rover, I would probably take Plasma Bolt number 2. But I'm not happy about it.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think you probably take Kill Ship here. I don't know. It's not great.
That's what I want to think.
You could also take Hole Carver, but that's also not great.
Yeah, I think it's between those 2.
I think I would prefer the
I was
Kill
still worried
Ship.
about defense. But
mostly you
you
took 2 Plasma Bolts already, right? Like,
yeah,
it's kind of like you already have a lot. Like, you have like 2 Plasma Bolts and a Focus Fire to like deal with small stuff, and then like Grav Kill, Orbital Plunge, Hole Carver to deal with big stuff. Like, you already have a lot of cheap stuff. Like, this can be a way to kill a big thing that like actually like puts you ahead on cards or something.
Yeah, I mean, do we kind of care about double spelling with Lightsmith a decent amount, though, is one factor.
You already have a
Like,
bunch.
having a bunch of ones is nice, but we do already have a bunch. Yeah, I could see it.
Also, I like that kill ship like keeps us more open. Well, I guess let's take the kill ship now.
Yeah.
Like
I
let's.
hope I did.
Nope,
I
no, you
did
did
Oh.
not.
Oh,
It's a
goodness.
lot of hole
I
carving.
think I just believed at this point that I like had too much late game, and that might not have
I
been the
don't
correct
think you
assessment.
do. I don't think you
Yeah,
do have too much late game.
I agree.
I mean, now if we open 2 more Virulent Silences, surely that's a deck.
I guess you take the
I
radiant.
guess we do have a virulent silencer. That is like a thing to note.
Okay. I mean, the thing is like,
I would not agree that it's in our possible main deck, but we do
yeah.
have it.
Okay, yeah, I guess this is fine. I mean, maybe you're supposed to take Ground Blade Heavy, just to, like have more like
Yeah, it's
cards
possible.
to do things.
Especially if we had a Pinnacle Kill Ship, actually, that's a good call out.
I'm not a huge fan, but Sky Warden is pretty decent actually. I guess we take it with Bard. So many Sky
Yeah,
Wardens.
as many Sky Wardens as we want to play. This was a you have as many of certain specific commons as you want to play draft.
Yeah.
I guess you take Command Bridge.
Yes.
I don't love it in that like I would have wanted something better out of this pack.
Yeah,
Like,
but
I think we kind of
it's
need it.
ending up like potentially quite important. So
Yeah. How I would describe your draft is that it kind of right now is that it kind of looks like you're gonna like play a bunch of removal spells and like flood out. I guess you take Godless Shrine, though. Fixing is important. You could take Beyond the Quiet.
we could.
We could. I mean, wait, so what fixing do we have right now? We have a scroll, a bridge.
I don't think you should take Beyond the Quiet. You like all your cards. The only thing that any of your cards do is trade already. Like, it's gonna be really hard to like get a good Beyond the Quiet off because like all your cards will already be trading, so your opponent won't like have things on board. You know?
Can I make an argument that it's kind of nice to get a 3-for-1 if your deck is full of removal? And you can just take some damage, get a 3-for-1, and then win with all your removal?
That's like hard to coordinate.
It's somewhat hard. I don't think it's that hard. Like, you just cast it on turn 5, or if they're not developing their board, then you, like, sure, if they just attack you with one creature and refuse to play more creatures, then you're in trouble. But I don't think that's likely. And the replacement for it is just another removal spell, right? Unless we're taking Timeline Color, which we could.
I might rather take Timeline Color.
Yeah, I could see it. It is a way to go up cards.
Kind of.
But I mean, I want the
Depressurize is definitely the like default other card we would take.
Yeah.
But it's not great because we just have enough.
I'm not a huge depressurized fan.
Yeah, I mean, I think with the 2 Lightsmiths that I do want to play, I'm like not that crazy about a double black card.
Have you considered that this is also a single black card? Like right now, I believe that we're red black splashing the white.
Yeah,
I agree.
Like I don't know, Timeline Color is a card that you can repeatedly cast for the purposes of Lightsmiths.
This is true.
Somewhat. It's like less repeatably castable than you would think because 2 life is a lot of life.
Yeah, well, sure, but like you like trade off or trump with it each time or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Beyond the Quiet is like the best card in this pack by a lot, and we just picked up a Command Bridge and a Godless Shrine.
I just don't think it's structurally what this deck wants. Like this is not a good Wrath.
I get that. I do agree. It's not one of the better Wrath decks, but I think Wrath is still like good enough in this format that I think it's the best card in the pack.
Okay, I don't know. I strongly disagree with this, and I think that you should like take Timeline Color and like be like a red black deck splash white. Like I don't know. It also makes your man. It just makes your like mana more awkward. Also, like splashing light is actually pretty clean here. Like I don't like. The thing is, like, I kind of want to be main red and black because I want to play these hole carvers and I want to like Mutinous Master. It already like kind of wants you to be main red and
Man's
black,
a lot.
right?
Yeah,
I don't know.
No,
I can
think
see
that's
it.
a fair
A
point.
timeline color might have been the pick.
Mm-hmm. Uh, can we take? I don't want to take vote out. I also don't want to take focus fire.
What's your opinion
Yeah.
on Beamsaw Prospector?
I want to take one of Beamsaw, Killship, or Zuifit. I think I want to take Zuifit.
Your friend
With like very few creatures, not great at getting back Hull Carvers, good at getting back Skywardens, but like very, very few things to get back in our deck.
Yeah, a lot of things are
Yeah.
sticky or ones.
I guess. Okay, maybe just take Beamsaw then. Or Killship. One of those two.
I think Killship, like Beamsaw, is like a card I like, but it's also a card that has underperformed for me. Its stat line kind of sucks.
Yeah.
And like if you don't have synergy with it.
I do not like this
I was
pick.
between Beamsaw and Vote Out here and like really waffling, and I think I took the wrong one. I think Beamsaw was the right pick.
I think that
Just
Killship
needing
is
creatures
better.
and incidental fixing.
Like, I don't know. I just...
But we can't really crew the Killship is the issue.
Yeah, you can. You have a bunch of Skywardens.
Yeah, I get that, but like if our opponent has like 2 removal spells in a game, which is somewhat common, then like the Killship just becomes a removal spell for 7.
I don't know.
Kind of.
You have like Skywardens and the Lightsmiths. Like, I don't think it's like it's just not that hard.
This is fair. I think the Beamsaw is a little bit better because we do really want incidental fixing still, and it is a creature which matters.
Yeah. It's fine.
But I think it's reasonable to disagree there. Sure.
Can we take Scout for survivors? Is that reasonable?
3 Hull Carvers?
I was thinking about it.
We have 3 Hole Carvers. And we have a Possibility Technician.
So here's the issue about Scout for Survivors and Hull Carver. What 2s do we have?
Another.
We literally don't have a card that costs 2.
Yes, another 2 Hole Carvers. You play all 3 of them. They get wrapped away by Litho Breaking, and then you get all 3 of them back. And then they get wrapped away by your second Litho Breaking.
This is value. I think
Truly. I don't know.
The other options are like we could take a 3rd Plasma Bolt.
I just don't want a 3rd Plasma Bolt or a 2nd Radiant Strike. I just don't want them.
I agree with these. How do you feel about Red Tiger Mechan?
I don't want that one either.
It sure can be cast for 2 mana.
That's true. You can cast it for 2 mana. Maybe it's fine. I'd certainly like taking it more than taking the Plasma Bolt.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think we have more than enough of that kind of effect.
Night Luminary. Or Timeline Cult. One of those 2. They kind of do similar things.
They kind of do. I agree. It kind of depends on how much white we think we're playing.
Yeah.
I think you'll probably want to play enough to cast the Night Luminary, so I'm fine with it.
I took Beyond the Quiet, so I clearly think we're playing white.
Well, okay, yeah. But also, I already have a Timeline Color, so like, I'm happy to diversify.
Yeah.
So Sacred Foundry.
Ayo.
Yeah. A gift.
We finally got the Pinnacle Kill
Pinnacle Kill Ship. Pinnacle Kill Ship. You probably took something else. Nah, okay.
Nah.
I value the Kill Ship. It just felt like they were coming around in the draft and I didn't need to prioritize them mainly.
That's fair. You're not going to play whatever you pick. It doesn't matter, you're not going to play it. I guess Focus Fire. You could take Drill 2 Deep actually as sideboard card instead of this. No, you have Radiant Strike.
Possible.
Like you already have Radiant Strike, so it's less. Like.
But also, like, are we playing that many shock effects?
Also, lol.
Well, yeah, it's more like unsure if which colors we're based in, and so I want the shock effect of a different color just in case I
that's
end up
fair, yeah.
deciding that we're in a different color base.
I mean, I'm already certain that you're not based in white, so you know.
Yeah.
Based on what?
Based on a true white deck.
So I think at some point in the middle of pack 3, I decided that like we probably could just be straight 3 colors with the Command Bridge, the Godless Shrine, and the All Fates Scroll. That was likely too aggressive, and the Armor Plunge, of course. But I think that was just too bold, and we needed like 2 more pieces of fixing, which is a lot, to actually make it work.
I agree. I do not think you should be playing this Beyond the Quiet. I think that you should be like playing like 1 planes and like 1 more of each of your other sources, and then like I don't know, just play a Litho Breaking, or sorry, not a Bombard, and like.
Is Litho Breaking fixing?
No.
With 3 Hull Carvers, we can sacrifice the Hull Carver and keep the landing.
You could play like Skyward or something. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I think that this deck, like my guess for how this deck goes is that you like.
Is how do we build this pool?
I mean,
like, we should maybe talk about that.
Okay. How I would build this pool is I would turn 2 planes into Mountain Swamp. I would cut the Beyond the Quiet and 1 of the Plasma Bolts for like probably a 3rd Sky Warden and like a Focus Fire or something like that.
Yeah. The Focus Fire cutting the white sources is like a little iffy, I guess, but reasonable.
I'm worried about cutting 2 planes with still a bunch of the like Lightsmiths and stuff that we want.
Yeah, if we put in a Focus Fire, we'd have 6 white cards still.
Okay, fine. You can play 2 planes instead of 1 planes.
Yeah,
6/6/2 is fine. But I do not want to play this Beyond the Quiet.
I do think it's like somewhat close. Like we have 3 planes: Command Bridge, Shrine, Foundry, All Fate Scroll, and Plunge.
I don't know. I still just think that Beyond the Quiet is not a card that this deck wants to play. I would just rather play the card Caliron Skywarden than Beyond the Quiet. Like,
I mean, I see where you're coming from with that. I don't think that's unreasonable. Like, we're kind of like also like Lightsmith play patterns kind of incentivize us to like deploy.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's not just the colors. It's also that I think it's not what this deck wants.
You're just not high on the Wrath.
Yeah.
Well, it's not that I'm not high on the Wrath. I'm not high on the Wrath when every single of your other cards.
Yeah, this was a weird draft. Like, I don't know if we go anywhere if you take the Edge Rover and the Lashfoot Predator. Like, I don't think that gets us anywhere.
I don't think it takes you anywhere.
Let's check. Yeah.
No, I was checking. To be clear, I was checking. Like, okay, okay, where? Yeah, so if you take Edge over here, you probably do not take a green card here. You probably take.
You can take Hylia.
Oh, that is true. Okay, that's unironically true that you can take Hylia. That's probably more bold than I would be, but I guess maybe I'm not.
Massacre, like, I don't know. I'm taking Hylia when I
like. I would rather take Killship than Hylia. Like, I wanted to take like Killship out of this pack anyway. So, yeah.
I don't think we're allowed to take Hylia.
But like, I would take so like if we go Edge Rover, Lashfoot Predator, like here. I'm not that high on Eulogist is the thing. so like chances are I would still take whole Carver here.
I will note that other people are likely much higher on Ice Cave Crasher than you are. Like, we're not even registering it, but I do think that card is like fine. And
sure.
I'm not that high on it, but it is like a playable green card.
Yeah, we like you could take Ice Cave Crasher. The thing is like you could take Biosynthetic Burst here, but I don't think that's obviously better than Radiant Strike anyways. So like, Oh, here you would get a green card, definitely. Like, you would take any of these green cards over this Sky Warden. And then you would probably take another Stinger. And then you take a Germinating Worm. I don't know. This does look like you could get the green.
Yeah, you're filling out half of a green deck with like no premium green cards whatsoever out of that pack, but enough green cards to play.
You're playing like Green Stompy or something. I don't know. Like, you can take Grove Strider out of this pack if you really wanted.
Yeah.
Like, I probably would at that point, just like kind of a.
Wouldn't we take maybe Curiosity out of this?
Depends on how much you care about
able
splashing.
To play our Lightsmiths and our Massacre.
No. At this point, I'm not trying to like be ambitious. I'm extremely not ambitious at this point, right? Like, okay, so what is our deck? What is our deck?
Literally play green and red and ignore most of the first picks we had in pack.
No. I'm saying play green and white. White is definitely our strongest color right now, right?
Oh, I see.
So, okay, what I'm saying is that, okay, at this point, right, like, we might splash red for, like, Plunge and Technician. But at this point, what I'm saying is, like, okay, white is our strongest color. I take the Edge Rover just as a spec, right? And then, like, probably take Pinnacle. So I have, so far, I'm counting playables, right? Because playable count might be important.
Yeah.
So we have 6 playables, right? Edge Rover, All Fate Scroll, and 4 white cards. Okay, so we have 6 playables, 7 with the Kill Ship, 8 with the Predator. I might still take Hole Carver. I could see taking second Kill Ship, or Crasher. We could, let's say we go all in and take the Crasher. Okay, so 9 with the Crasher.
Yeah.
This like
and the Kill Ship.
I wouldn't. I don't know how much I want to count the second Kill Ship. It's like a little sus, but we could count 10 with Kill Ship. It's like probably fine even in like green white. 11 with one of these two, 12, 13, 14. So we have like 14 cards, right? Yeah, like I think 14 cards you can like.
14 is reasonable going into pack 3.
Yeah, and then you can take like either Grove Strider or Curiosity.
I think the thing that I'm worried about is that like.
And then, like,
I'm abandoning this Massacre that we seem to have like the ability to put in our deck for a bunch of like just average green creatures.
Okay, like my impression is that Massacre.
Fine.
My impression is that Massacre is not going to be good in your deck. Was it good?
Yeah. It was quite good. Like I won multiple games with it that I would not have won otherwise.
Okay, maybe I'm underrating.
Unclear if I would have won them like if I had a normal deck. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. Mostly, I just think that I
also got like multiple 3 and 2 for ones with Beyond the Quiet that like won me games. The games I did not win were the games that I missed a color and lost. So like that is the main I think weakness of the deck.
I just have respect for
if I had access to all my colors, the deck felt quite powerful because I could just like pick and choose what I killed and what I like blocked with Skywarden, and then figure out a way to go up on cards with like managing the game with my 2 Wraths and my like Decode Transmissions and like Sunstar Lightsmiths. Like the deck had a decent amount of ways to go up cards and a decent amount of ways to like keep the game in a direction and shape that like would let it do that. But yeah, I think the colors really, really came to bite me. I don't know if that's like exactly how the deck plays out every time because it's pretty limited sample size, but yeah.
I mean, I think
the deck was better than you're characterizing it in terms of like being super worried that a deck just full of removal and not many creatures is like not really going to play out well at all. It actually played out pretty well because the Lightsmiths are just such a good pair with all this like removal and just game controlling stuff.
Okay.
And we also have like Possibility Technician, which is another kind of card engine in that way.
Okay. I'm gonna do
with the Skywardens.
I'm gonna do a thing which will be slightly wrong because choices do cascade. But I actually do want. I'm gonna load up what this deck would look like on sealeddeck.tech. So Edge Rover here.
Yeah.
1 Pinnacle Kill Ship. 1 Lash Whip Predator. 1 Ice Cave Crasher. Another Kill Ship, I guess. On Radiant Strike. would you take Might or Stinger here? Like, probably Stinger?
I think Stinger. Yeah.
Or what about
I'm also not that
Direct?
low on Rick's Fate Maker.
Yeah,
But
I
I
would
think I would
rather
take
have the
Stinger.
2-drop, definitely. When
We already.
Yeah, I
Oh
agree.
yeah, with 2 of those, yeah.
Yeah, so we got 2 Stingers, 1 Germinating Worm,
The worm.
and then here 1 Harmonious Grove Strider, 1 Gene Pollinator. Uh, uh, you could even take the Beyond the Quiet here. I don't know if you should.
Sure. I mean, there's not really another card besides the Tenderfoot to take.
Yeah, there's not really,
I
so
mean,
I probably would.
you get cheeky with
One.
the dual sense technique.
I don't know if you take Focus Fire Diplomatic here. Like you have a lot
Yeah,
of
I don't
large
know.
creatures. I'll put
Let's
down
take Diplomatic.
Diplomatic. Um. Here you can take Radiant Strike or Bioengineered. I'm not a huge Bioengineered fan.
Me
Um.
neither. I would take Tenderfoot over it.
Okay. Over Radiant Strike too.
No, I'm between Tenderfoot and Radiant Strike.
Okay.
We have 2 Death Touchers. Those are only 2s right now.
Yeah, basically. I think I would take Tenderfoot.
Yeah, I think that's very reasonable.
Like we're trying to be a
probably
stompy deck. 1 Knight,
Yeah.
Luminary, 1. Oh no, we do take the Sacred Foundry because we want to splash
Yeah.
red.
Yep.
Do we want to splash red?
Yeah, we have a Gene Pollinator already. This is our second Gene Pollinator.
And we have Orbital Plunge and the Kavu.
Yeah. I would splash the Kavu. Yeah. 1 Sammy's Curiosity. No, I don't think we would play Sammy's Curiosity. 1 Bright Spear Zealot? Question mark.
I feel like we'd play Curiosity if we're slashing red.
No, I don't want to. Another Focus Fire. Another Lightfoot, or sorry, Tenderfoot, probably. Another Focus Fire, another Tenderfoot.
I think we probably don't have 3 Tenderfoots. I think this one we already took.
Oh, sure, whatever.
Yeah.
But okay.
Yeah. So let's look at this deck. I'm interested.
Okay, so this deck. We're going deep. We're going deep today.
We are. This is a very, very deep draft log review, but I love it.
Okay. In addition to this, we have a Sacred Foundry.
Yes.
I don't know. This looks fine.
So how many ways does this deck have to go up on cards?
I don't know. Same as your other deck. 2 Sunstar Lightsmiths.
Yeah, the Scroll and the Possibility Technician. You're missing the Decode Transmissions, but basically the same amount.
It's the same amount.
And then you just have a bunch of creatures instead of a bunch of removal. That's like the difference, right?
Yeah, but also I still have a bunch of removal because like there's Focus Fires. You know.
Yeah.
Like I probably would not play this, and I would
This
just like.
does, I think, look a little better. Not a lot. It's weird to me to be like, I'm gonna go into green, having not seen any green at all in pack 1, and only seeing like medium level green cards in pack 2. And to be clear, like we're not doing it for the theoretical awesome green cards we're gonna get. We're doing it because we just like need creatures, basically.
Well,
but
okay, no,
it does result in a better deck, I think.
I think that this is okay. To be clear, I think that this is not the right way to look at it. The reason why I wanted to take this edge over here is that I don't think I want to play the card Cavalron Harrier. That's the whole point. The whole point is that I don't care about this red card, right? The whole point of taking Edger over here is I think that this is a card that can go in decks, and this isn't a card that can go in decks. Or, well, it can go in some decks, but that's not a deck that we're drafting.
That we're drafting because, like, it doesn't go in a removal-heavy deck?
I think you need to be, like, very aggressive to play this card, and, like, I think pretty clearly you're not being very aggressive here.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Yeah.
So
No, I
like
think
that's
that's
the whole reason I
reasonable.
want to take Edge Rover. You could have chosen Mouth of the Storm instead. Also, like I personally prefer Edge Rover because partially because I think that like the stompy green stuff is just like easy to get, and that is part of my calculation. But like I'm not saying like I'm gonna take this Edge Rover and I have a specific plan. I'm saying
Right.
like I don't know. I don't have a plan for using this Cavron Harrier, right?
Yeah. I think
And so like
one of the like
it's just
one of the interesting things about draft is you kind of have to like have a threshold for wobbling, right? And in some sense, the cost of like I'm not saying that we're taking Edge Rover and deterministically deciding that we're drafting green going forward. What I am saying is that it feels really, really hard to me to take Edge Rover and then do that. And Edge Rover is like pretty unlikely to make our deck if we're not likely to be able to like commit to green, if that makes sense.
yeah, no.
Right? Like we'd have to fully like be taking medium green cards over medium cards of the colors we already have in our pool for the rest of this pack, which seems hard to like realistically expect us to do. If we just saw slightly better black or red creatures in the rest of the pack, we'd be like just incentivized to take those. And
I
then
agree. That's
Yeah.
You want to push
completely
back on
fine.
that.
Like
There's
that's
also the
completely
world.
fine.
Yeah,
Right.
there's also a world where we get past like a slightly above rate green card,
Yeah, like
True.
we get
more pulled into it.
or like pack 3 pick one or a Boroid.
Yeah,
like
of course, right. That is a reason to draft green in pack 2.
well,
But,
okay, basically
yeah.
what I'm saying is like, yes, it's very unlikely, but guess what? It happened this hack. Like it would have happened, right? Like I just
Yeah.
there just weren't good card. Like there just happens to be a lot of random green okay cards in packs that didn't have like
Yeah.
other cards, right? And that just happens
But
sometimes.
like they did have other cards. Like they had Hull Carvers, right? Which
Well, okay, no, okay, like
in the colors we're in currently and the Mutinous Massacre we have in our pool, it's just like pretty reasonable to expect that we'll get some reasonable red or black creatures in pack 3 and build a decent Mutinous Massacre deck that's splashing some Sunstar Lightsmiths. Right?
okay. To be clear, it does not at all depend on these two picks with Hull Carvers, right? Like, I wanted to
'Cause we
take
get enough
I wanted to take
Carvers.
Kill Ship over this Plasma Bolt. That goes in the green deck anyways. Like this Plasma Bolt, I also don't care about. Like I would rather have the Lash Whip Predator. And then like I can take Hull Carver here, and then still be taking white card, green card out of here, and green card out of here. Like it's still all very reasonable, right? Like and then another green card here, right? Like it's not.
This makes sense.
Yeah, I see the vision.
Like I don't know. And then you open this pack 3 pick one, and the best card is again a green card. And yeah, it's kind of weird that it happened, but it can just happen, you know?
No, I to be clear, I do really agree it can just happen. It's like path dependency is the thing I'm trying to talk about. Where like we're already in a place where we have these Sunstar Lightsmiths and this Mutinous Massacre, right? And like we are in a space where we don't really know what our colors are. We're trying to figure out which base 2 colors to be in. I think a lot of drafters, me included, right, are kind of at the point where we're like, okay, we're mid pack 2, we're still waffling a little bit. We need to start being responsible and taking like creatures in the colors we can end up being based in, and like figure out which of these colors we're splashing and which of these colors are our base colors, right? That's how like most players I think would be thinking about a draft when they get to this stage of it. And I want to try to like dig for why, Jason, you feel like it gives us like higher probability to end up with a reasonable solid deck to like speculate here. You look at Cavron Harrier and Edge Rover, right? Those two cards do not seem that dramatically different, I think, to most players. They're like 1-drop creatures that have a little bit of extra text that can give some amount of value or not. Edge Rover's probably somewhat better. Green is better. We prefer it in this.
No, I think Edge Rover is like an order of magnitude better than Cavern Carrier, definitely. Like, I think
does
not
that
close.
have to do with the card's text, or is it like just the color preference?
No. The card's text.
The card's text definitely.
Okay.
Cavalron Harrier is a card that I think you will like occasionally play in some red decks, or like play in some red decks, and like most of the time you're not that happy with it. And like Edge Rover is like premium cheap defensive card in green decks. Like,
Right. I think I agree based on the like positioning of the colors and what the decks want in this format. But I'm just saying, like, if we're trying to build a limited deck and you don't know what the format is or what the colors are trying to do in that set or what the decks look like, and I show you these two cards, you're gonna think Edge Rover is probably a marginally better card, but they're both like roughly worth the 1 mana you're getting out of them, right?
I would read Edge Rover and think it.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know. You can say that, but I would say that if you think that you would end up being wrong. Like, this is like this.
Yeah.
Like comparing these two cards is just somewhat of a knowledge check. That step is like not that hard, right? Like, yeah, at some point we will figure out which one is better and by how much, right? And my claim is that I believe that the answer is that like Edge Rover is going to be like a lot better than Harry, or like, and also specifically that Harrier is not good in this
format and having played with both cards. Yeah, like I agree with that, but I'm trying to get us to like articulate beyond the fact that we like the card Edge Rover better, which I do agree with, but like there are so many structural things happening in this draft so far to make us not want to take a green card and instead take a red card. I'm trying to figure out why the difference between Edge Rover and Cavalron Harrier is large enough that like we are not adhering to those structural factors and instead taking a card that we literally don't have any cards of that color midway through two, and we have not even seen any like cards of that color, really. Right? Like,
Okay.
I want us to articulate that because I think it's a really interesting point.
Okay, let me try to
like,
articulate it. Okay, right. Let me try. Let me get on my soapbox. Cavalron Harrier is not a red card. Stop thinking of it as a red card. It's not a card. You're not putting this card in your deck, right? Like, what do you mean when you say taking a green card over, like, what do you, like, okay, fundamentally what you mean when you're pointing out that one of these cards is red and one of these cards is green and that should matter is that we are more likely to put red cards in our deck, right? That is fundamentally what you are saying, right? Like, the reason that we carry it as red is because we're more likely to be able to cast red cards, we're more likely to put this card in our deck. I think it is very unlikely that you put Cavalron Harrier in this deck. Like, just based on the like shape of how the deck currently is, like, I cannot imagine a world where I am happy with how my deck ended up at the end where I want to put the Harrier in the deck. There are definitely some worlds, right? Most of them involve like you getting like a very strong card that keeps you in red for some reason. But also like red, like your colors are like not. There just aren't very many cards of your color, so you end up low on playables, but you still definitely want to take red cards. Like most of the reason to take Cavalron Harrier is that the reason you might want to put in your deck is if you are low on playables. That is like basically the only time, or like low on 2-drop, low on playables, whatever, right? Like that is basically the only time where you will want to put this card in your deck. You know what probably is happening if you're low on playables? There's probably cards in other colors that are available. So in those worlds, I should probably be pivoting to another color anyways. I don't need to take the red card here, because in the world where I need to have a red card for playables, I could instead have a different color for playables. Does that make sense?
Sorry, you cut out for like the last 10 seconds of it.
Oh, okay.
I got the gist of everything. I think partially it's that like on the Discord call we're on, you cut out more than you do actually on stream. So ultimately it's fine because people on stream are hearing you.
I guess I'll TLDR.
Yes, I get the gist of what you're saying, which is you go.
Yeah, TLDR. Harrier only makes it into your deck if you're low on playables. If you're low on playables, probably there's another color open, and you should just and like you can probably pivot into that other color, because like if you're low on playables, it's because there's multiple packs in a row where you literally can't take a card. And if you literally can't take a card, well, you're still taking some card out of that pack. Chances are there's some random card of some random color you can speculate on. I think that this is such a pack. I think that this pack does not have a playable for us currently, so I would like to speculate on some random card. And my chosen random card is Edge Rover. I think that's the best one. You could argue about that.
Yeah, this makes sense.
Let me try to rephrase, because I think this points out a very fundamental thing with your drafting philosophy that you've expressed before, which is that like it kind of doesn't matter what's open or what is like available to you. You're not trying to find the correct 2 colors to be in for your seat. You are trying to build the best deck with cards that you're allowed to take out of the packs that are in front of you, basically, and the cards you've already taken. What I mean by that, right, is that like you have this faith that I think players who have been playing limited for a long time are not necessarily used to, that if you take a card that you're happy to play in a deck out of every pack, you will eventually end up with enough playables in a 2-color pair to build a good deck.
Or more. Because 2-color pair or more.
For sure. Base 2 colors likely, or base 1 color splashing a bunch, whatever, right? Some kind of consistent mana deck. That is an assumption, I think, that challenges the traditional like framework for how to navigate drafts that tons of limited content assumes and has as like a philosophical baseline. So I think it's really interesting in getting to this is why I wanted to get to the crux of this, is like I think it's really valuable to try drafting with that assumption more. Just say like, I know the cards that go in decks that I consider good in this format. I'm going to take one of those cards out of every pack, and I'm not going to try to like compromise because I feel like I'm already being pushed in a direction that is like leading me towards a deck that I need to satisfy that isn't going to be good in the end. The interesting thing is that like you often talk, Jason, about how you don't necessarily feel like staying open is that important, and often you want to just like be taking cards that make sense with the cards you already have. I think these 2 things are the tension that like a lot of limited draft navigation content talks about, and they are in tension to some extent. So I want to like challenge you in helping me to like untangle how to navigate those tensions and how we're thinking about that. The thing that's happening here is basically that Kavron Harrier, even though it is in our colors, kind of, it like matches with the colors of the cards we have in our pool, doesn't actually go in the deck that we're building structurally. So unless we happen to get a ton of other aggressive black and red creatures.
Okay, let me resolve this tension a little bit. So like when we're talking about like how I'm not a huge fan of quote staying open, right? Usually what that means is that when I say that, what I mean is that I'm against the idea that like if I take, for example, like strong black rare pack 1 pick 1, and then pack 1 pick 2, I see good black card and like slightly better white card, I would rather take the black card than like the better white card. Like if there's like not that big of a difference, and I believe this strongly, right? Like as long as it is a good card that fits in your deck, I would generally rather take the good card that fits in your deck than the like better card that doesn't fit in your deck. Like I would rather like stay with keep building on the foundation I have with good cards than like speculate on better cards that don't go with the stuff I'm building, right? But the key is that I would like to take good cards that build on the foundation that I have. I like the difference between like the difference between a 10 and a 12 is 20%. The difference between a 0 and a 2 is infinity, right? And to me, Kavron Harrier rounds to 0. So that is
Yeah.
that is the difference here.
Yeah, and like this particular pick is just a window into this discussion. Like, I obviously, doesn't matter that much what is the right pick here. In fact, I think it's kind of a mistake to over-index on whatever we pick here for what we do the rest of the draft often, because it's just like a pack where we're not getting that much or getting some small amount of speculative value out of, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's a really interesting thing where you're unifying these two things by saying like the idea of staying open is not really clear, because you could stay open by like getting deep into one color in pack one. You could stay open by taking cards of a bunch of different colors that you all consider strong, but no, don't go in the same deck, and you're going to just pick one of the directions that you have incentives to go in eventually, right? You're saying that like if you are taking cards that you like in decks that you can see yourself building throughout the draft, there should be one of those cards available in almost every pack. You will almost all the time converge on a deck that has a coherent color base, because you do, within the cards that you consider like valuable for a future deck, can use the tiebreaker of what fits best in like a consistent mana base with the cards we already have, right? But you don't have to compromise by taking cards that make a consistent mana base that you just like don't consider good at all, because there are just enough playables unlimited these days where you will kind of find yourself having already pivoted if you just keep taking the cards that you consider good, if you're not seeing cards that you consider good that are in like what we consider our colors already.
Yeah, like I don't know. I personally just the way I think about it is just a very like or deceptively, perhaps deceptively so, not complicated. I just take the good cards, not the bad cards. Like I take the ones that work with my deck. Like I'm just making each pick individually. I don't have a grand plan, you know. Like,
well, yeah, but it's not exactly that. And I think when people hear you often say like take the good cards, they're more thinking you have like a specific set of cards when you start a draft that you consider the good cards, and you're only going to take those. That's not exactly what you mean, because like
take the
you
good
consider
cards in the
beyond the
context
quiet
of
a
your
good
deck,
card,
you know.
right? But that's like that adds all of the nuance that makes the decision difficult.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I'm a little
think, like,
this is obviously
Yeah.
tongue in cheek, but like to me, it's just like the thing I want to highlight the most is my comment. I don't have a grand plan here. I'm not taking Edge Rover to think I'm ending up in green. I'm taking Edge Rover because I think
Right.
in this
You're
spot,
taking
I
it
believe
because
that
it is a
it
better use
represents.
of a draft pick
I
to
just
take
think
a card that you would consider playing in a deck ultimately, if you happened to have enough green cards in your pool at the end of the draft to build a green deck. And you have this belief that, and I think it's a correct belief given like the amount of playables in Modern Limited, that if you keep taking cards that you would actually play in a deck out of every pack, you will converge onto a deck that is coherent.
yeah.
And it's actually a larger risk to take cards that are just kind of crappy, because every card you take that's just kind of crappy is a card that might actually be put in your deck that is kind of crappy.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't have
Okay,
that much
that
room
is
anymore
huge.
with play boosters. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
This
true.
is a really funny example to me because, to be clear, I suggested this Edge Rover with like no plan, right? I was just like, this just feels like what I would take here, you know? It feels like a higher
Right.
upside pick.
And I'm trying to
then-
like tease out a verbalization of those instincts.
Yeah, and then at the end of the draft, I was like, okay, yeah, surely the Edge Rover would not have gotten there. I don't remember seeing that many green cards. And then when we looked back, I was very surprised that it would have.
Right.
It was very funny. It's like,
I think the interesting, like you can't go like take Edge Rover if we like keep tabbing through here. You can't go like take Edge Rover, take Plasma Bolt, take like I guess Lash Whip Predator, then take Hull Carver, then take Hull Carver or whatever, right? Like this doesn't this path doesn't work. You sort of have to be.
No, it does.
There is.
The point is that it does.
Does it?
Well, no, yeah, sorry. Wasn't the whole point that, like, yeah, okay, it looks like it's not going to work out for, like, the green is not going to work out. You just randomly hop an edge rover in a
like
predator.
Working, but then you get a bunch of free, like, green creatures with other playables in the back of the pack.
There's just, like, a bunch of green creatures at the end of the pack because, like, I don't know, there just randomly happens to be. I think there's, like, maybe one other green drafter at your table or something.
I would say that I don't think the reason there are a bunch of random green creatures at the back of the pack is that there just happened to be. I think it's that green was heavily cut off in the direction flowing through us in pack 1. And so green cannot be that drafted in the seats that are like we were passing to in pack 1. It's just kind of impossible for someone to get into green, or like multiple people to get into green in the seats after us.
I'm gonna contest the claim that green was heavily cut off here. Like,
okay,
I don't know. Packs just happen this way. Like, sometimes packs just happen this way. Like, you.
Okay, sorry, Jason. What I mean specifically is not that I think the people to our right were drafting green. What I mean is that there were not green cards for people to our left to take.
Okay,
that's what I mean.
Sure. That's
right.
Sure.
Like literally, green was cut off from the people we were passing to.
Okay, that's right.
I don't mean that it was being cut, but whatever.
Yeah,
right.
I do think that.
Means is that like there are going to be more green cards available to us in pack 2 because that direction of the draft doesn't have reason to take random average green cards based on what was in pack 1. Like they just really realistically don't. And I think that is an important thing that people need to notice a little bit more in draft navigation, but it's really hard to know what to conclude from it because it doesn't always mean you should avoid green because it's only available in one pack, right? Sometimes you do the like take all of your green in pack 2 and build your deck based on that. If you have like one other strong color that you were based in pack 1, you know it's going to be kind of cut off in pack 2 because you were passing a bunch of good cards from it, and then like you finish it off in pack 3 where you know it's probably open again or whatever, right?
Okay.
There's a lot of, I think it's easy to exaggerate when you say like it doesn't matter what is open or what is closed or whatever, and it's also easy to exaggerate to say like just take the good cards, but at the same time it's easy to exaggerate in the other direction of like we need to like be responsible here and take the Caveron Harrier. There's a good reason why that's not necessarily the more responsible pick.
Yeah. So,
which is kind of what I was articulating, which is just like it's a crappy card and you don't want crappy cards in your deck. That's how your deck becomes bad.
I want to clarify. I do think we should move on soon, but I do want to clarify. When I say that it doesn't,
good stuff.
When I say that it doesn't matter what's open, I don't care about signals. I'm actually not exaggerating. I am actually not using hyperbole. Like, I mean a very specific thing, which is that I don't care about concepts like openness or signals because those concepts are fully encapsulated by what I already do in different ways. Basically, if there existed a signal, I would be following it, but not because I'm specifically looking for signals, but because of other reasons. For example, this whole concept of like
cards, you are following the signal, basically.
Yes, yeah, like for example, this concept of like, oh, we didn't pass any green to our left. I'm not going to like. I don't think that you should phrase that as, therefore, we have not sent a green signal, so green is more likely to come pack 2. You should instead enact on that by saying, if I see, like, I don't know, in pack 2, maybe I'll see a bunch of green cards. If I see a bunch of green cards, I might take them, you know? Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. You keep cutting out a bunch for me. I don't know why it is. It's just something about the Discord call. Which sucks because I really want to hear what you're saying.
Sorry,
you cut out for like 5 seconds a lot.
I'll reiterate. If you're like passing no green cards in pack 1, I don't think the correct way to think about that, in my opinion, is not I'm passing, like I'm sending a signal that green is cut, right? Like, and therefore I should expect more green the other way. I think it's not that productive to think about that because it's like, yes, that has a small effect, but that small effect is negligible in the face of just the randomness of draft. like you not knowing the drafting styles of everyone else at your table, et cetera, et cetera. And instead, what you should look at are like the results, and the results are just like, do you see like what do you see in the packs that are literally in front of you, right? And so like it's not it's not I sent a signal that green that like green was pretty closed off going to the left. It's I'm now seeing green cards in pack 2 for some reason. I'll take them. Why not? You know?
Right. Yeah, I do think I would say that, like, if you are paying attention to this stuff, it is a little bit more predictive or predictable than you're characterizing. We can agree to disagree there, potentially.
I
I
think
do
agree
think
to
that,
disagree
like,
there. Yeah.
I do often notice that, like, if I see basically none of a color in pack 1, I will often see, like, a good amount of it in pack 2. How much a good amount is like highly variable, but I think that is a thing that you can, like, pretty well predict in a lot of drafts. The thing about it is that, like, people often use it to sort of try to determine this, like, what colors do I need to decide to be in for the rest of this draft, right? When they're making one individual pick. And I think that is where people often go really wrong, where they're trying to be like, what is the open seat that is going to, like, be true for the rest of the draft? And mostly you need to be making these decisions in an iterative way on, like, the pool you currently have and the strength of the cards that you're seeing actually in front of you. Um, and, like, basically every time you make a draft pick, I think what you're kind of saying, Jason, is like you have an opportunity to add a card to your pool. That card has a percent chance it will make your deck and a percent and like a strength in your deck, right? Your goal is to, like, maximize that multiplying, like, value, right? Um, I think that is the probably best way to phrase, like, what you're doing every time you make a draft pick. And to a very small extent, the projection of, like, what colors are available has something to do with the, like, likelihood something will make your deck. But so much more of it has to do with how strong is the card generically, with, like, the cards you generally would expect to see in any draft in the format, and how strong is the card structurally with what you already have in your pool and what your deck is likely to look like. Those, I think, are the factors that, like, you value really highly. I think it's important to value really highly, and people generally undervalue in drafting. So, like, this Edge Rover Caveron Harrier pick is a good example of that, where the argument you're making is Edge Rover is just, like, possible to impact our deck positively, and Harrier is, like, not really possible to do that.
Yeah.
That's the argument, essentially.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I think this was, like, awesome. I hope people enjoyed this. I certainly did. I love going really deep on this stuff. The specifics of the pick are not that important, but I think the philosophy of, like, what do you actually care about, and are you asking the right questions of what am I supposed to be doing with an individual draft pick is really, really cool and important, and the kind of stuff that I wanted to get to when I was like, let's do some draft log reviews on stream.
I also really enjoyed listening to that. No point anything to interject, but, like, yeah, it all makes it's a good discussion.
Should we move on to the other draft log we had?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you want to drive this time?
Sure. Yeah, you sent the link, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's rejigger this.
Actually, wait. If we do we think we'll get to a third one? Because if we,
I doubt it.
Okay, because if we did, I would drive this one and you drive mine. But if not, then yeah, I think you can go ahead.
Would you like to drive more? I'm totally happy to. We've been talking a lot.
I can do it. Yeah.
Whoever's driving, just share your screen in Discord, and it'll appear on the stream.
Yes, I will do that momentarily. All right, let me make this look nice. Right, let's look at the right log.
Let me take a look.
Oh.
You're sharing your Discord screen.
Wait, what? What was that? All right, do you see it now?
Yes, this is in
Okay.
fact the right draft log, or at least
Amazing.
it has the right pack one, pick one.
Yes. And this pack one pick one, I'm assuming is Elegy Acolyte. Card is.
No, I actually took a Crystal Quarry. I just really want to.
You're
Sorry,
so
I took
curious.
Edge Rover. I think we might be able to pivot into green here.
This is so topical.
Okay.
Lies and slander.
I
Okay.
would say that Elegy Acolyte has the strongest combination of power and likelihood to be in our deck out of
Yes.
this pack.
I would also say out of many cards in the format, this is true. Right. So we have an Elegy Acolyte. Moving on.
I have no idea what to do here.
Okay,
Hey, look,
so
nothing.
the cards
Yeah.
I'm looking at here are Taiga, Moxite, Well,
And like survey, or sorry, not survey, self-craft.
I think
method?
I'm taking
Like,
Grove of
maybe?
the Burn Willows. Or
I
maybe
could see
Moxite.
that, or I could see Moxite. Those are like the only two, really.
I think like
Um,
I don't know, having access to a powerful fixing land like is maybe arguably better than a shock land. Like,
yeah,
I think it's definitely better than the Shockland.
yeah.
yeah, it is in green, so it's nice with like soup space. I think I would take Grove. Moxite is like the only other card that's like good enough
I
to
guess
consider, because
also
smoothing is really valuable in this format, and making rectangles is good. And
I
red
guess
black is just like a good deck, I think.
I guess self-craft mechan is also a pretty good common, but like has decently high
Yeah.
setup cost, and so like I feel
I
like
like
both
just
these
taking
cards are a bit more
land.
flexible. I think I want to take Grove.
For CFT's sake,
ooh.
I hovered Whale. I hovered on Whale for a little bit, and then I clicked on Moxite. I feel like I'm just like, if I like taking Acolyte, I wanted to take Moxite because like, helps find the Acolyte, helps with Void for like making 2/2s off of the Acolyte. I don't know, it just seemed like a little more coherent. I don't think this pick matters that much. Like I think
I agree.
like
That's fine.
I just think
One
that
important
Moxite
thing
was
is that we take Moxite, and then we don't think that we're like automatically in red at all.
No,
Yeah. This. Yeah, I agree that this is not either one.
like I'm thinking of Moxite here as like just this is a decently strong card.
Yeah.
It's
No,
not
I think
amazing.
it's fair. It was the
But,
other
like,
card I was
yeah.
considering. Yeah, like
It's a card I would generally be actively happy to put in my red decks. I think I'm more likely to end up there than Soup, given Elegy Acolyte. I think I like more likely by a little bit.
okay.
So yeah.
All right, so we have these two. I would like to take Code Cracker Hound because that card is quite good. And
Yeah, that card makes a difference, is how I would put it.
Woof
yeah.
woof.
And also, I would say it's I wouldn't say it's incoherent with like Elegy Acolyte.
It's a woofer.
I definitely would not say that.
It in fact both digs for Acolyte and triggers Acolyte.
Woofer.
Yeah.
Yeah, take the woofer. This is an easy pick. It's okay. Picks 1 and 3 are easy.
All
Go
right.
Wild.
I want to take Survey Mechan, I think.
I want to take a Mechan. It's not a navigator, but it's any of the other two Mechans.
Yeah, Zoo Mechan is like also interesting.
I love
But,
how
like,
many Mechans there are.
I really
Nice.
So many Mechans.
I want to kind of force my way into playing these two cards if I can. And so, like, being... Like, Zookeeper Mechan is very much a card that puts down the path of being base red. And, like, I also just think this card's upside is, like, through the roof. I've been very impressed by Survey Mechan. Even with a deck that has, like, 3 different land names. Or even 2 sometimes. Like, it's just it's obviously highly mana intensive, but it's a very powerful effect, and I like interaction plus card draw plus life swing.
I think this pick is a very good example of the like we're taking in one individual draft pick the best combination of power times likelihood to make our deck, and likelihood to make our deck is not really increased by this mock site very much for the Mechan. So it's not that we're deciding, oh, we're going to be somewhere in the Grixis space, and Zookeeper Mechan would be played in our deck if we're in red in that space. It's just like, what is the best card in a range of decks that we could play? And I think Mechan is, or sorry, Survey Mechan is better than Zookeeper Mechan under that framework.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I took the Survey Mechan. Like, come on, it's me. Of course I took it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I really like the card.
If we're talking about bias, then definitely.
Well, okay. I mean, okay. To be clear, I'm not even saying bias. I just like the card. I think more than other people. Like, I would be willing to put it in two color decks. Level of like the card, you know.
I mean, having cast the card a bunch. I'm same. It's just been impressive.
Agreed.
All right, moving on. All right, so here.
Let the confusion continue.
We have
3 cards I would take out of
the cards I'm looking at. I think I mean, all these cards are like, besides like Space Time, which I don't take here. All these cards have Texas cards. I'm excluding the white cards that aren't anything I really want to be doing. Technician is below the power level of the rest. I think it was Navigator. So for me, I'm looking at Mono Sentry, Mechanizoa. I don't think I want to take Slagdale Scrapper over like Mechanizoa because again, I don't really want to be red and Command Approach. I think these 3 are what I've narrowed it down to.
I think for me, I am considering the Scrapper over the Mono Sentry. Like, I just don't value Mono Sentry that highly. It reads to me slightly crappy. And Slag Drill is actually like a card I actively like having in decks. So Mechanizoa, Scrapper, and Command Bridge are like the 3 for me. And I probably would just take Command Bridge.
This is where
I
I'm
think
at
it's
too.
likeliest to make the deck and roughly equal in terms of added value to the other 2.
Yeah, I've been like trying to like wrap my head around Command Bridge because it's pretty high on, and I just, like still think it's pretty good, but I've definitely come down on it in 2 color decks after talking to stuff like that. But I think here I really like that it's another name. I like that it keeps us open, maybe lets us do a little bit more multicolor nonsense. And yeah, it's just a good consistent pick. I think after that I would take a Mechanism. I think I don't know. I don't have enough reps with Scrapper. Like, I've only seen the card be medium, but I haven't cast it.
I think consensus is that it's like an actively good card.
Yeah. Oh no, I agree.
At least among our team.
I trust consensus. That's what I would consider it. And I think if I was sitting here, I'd be taking Command Bridge and Mech.
Okay,
I think I'm probably taking Bridge too.
Is Mechanizoa a Mechan?
Yes.
I would take the other Mechan. I believe I took the other Mechan.
Okay.
And you stand by it?
Pitch me on it.
So I think I stand by it. I think it's close to Bridge. My pitch is the cards I currently have are Codecracker Hound, which draws a lot of cards, Survey Mechan, which draws a lot of cards, Elegy Acolyte, which is a 4-drop. I would like I like kind of want more like cheaper cards. And I'm like not obviously going to need Command Bridge. And like my impression is that Navigator is probably like a pretty decent cheap card. I might be wrong.
Yeah, I think where I'm at with it is I've been pretty unimpressed with it as like a body, and it's just really hard for it to attack. And so to me, that just seems like I'm like, it doesn't feel like I'm picking up a cheap card that I'm happy to play. It just feels like I'm picking up a cheap card at a replacement level that I would end up playing only if I like really needed a 2-drop, which is surprising because the card reads pretty good. But that's been my experience with it, so that's why I'm not picking it here.
Yeah, I mean, I've been largely unimpressed by the bot, like 2 mana 2 power creatures, especially as like defensive speed. They felt pretty effective. However, I have also had like seen like Mechan kind of like, and like I was playing against CFT in a single limit, and they kind of went off with it, like stationing a bunch with it, and like
this is what CFT is actively saying in the chat right now.
Yeah.
Who says it needs to be defensive speed?
Yeah, no, yeah. To be clear, that's what I'm saying is like
I just want a cheap card. I took this just because I want cheap card.
I think, yeah, I definitely have been like steadily rising on this card, having seen it do what it does. I think that's fair. I think I'd probably still lean towards Command Bridge, but like, I don't know. I think I'd probably undervalue this card.
I think it's close. I still have not cast Navigator.
Real. All right, let's move on. All right, what do we have here?
More stuff that you can technically take out of the pack.
Oh, we sure can take cards out of this pack. All right, so the cards I'm considering here, I'm not thinking about Night Captain. I don't think I want Sawship. I don't think that's like an efficient card to utilize. Radiant Strike I'm looking at as like probably the best rate card in the pack. Mechan, no, I don't think I'm. We have a Mox. So like I'm looking at this Self-Craft Mechan kind of, looking at Meldon Moxite and looking at Chrome Companion to stay open.
Yeah. I think like it's hard for us to be playing Moxite, Codecracker, and Elegy Acolyte. Not impossible, but difficult. And I think it's much more reasonable that if we're in like a blue-black deck, we'd be playing Self-Craft Mechan and like some Cryogen Relics, some Nutrient Blocks, right?
Yeah.
So
I
to
think
me, it's pretty realistic that we could end up with that as a good card in our deck.
Yeah, that is
But
what
also
I think.
Chrome Companion is just like a 2 for similar reasons to why we just took the other 2.
Yeah, although this card's a little bit different, I think, in what it actually does.
Yes, for sure.
I think if Chrome
I just meant 2-drop reasons.
Yeah, I mean, my impression was that Navigator was a good 2-drop, whereas Companion is like pretty mediocre 2-drop. That could be wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But which Mechan would you like to take out of this pack?
Wait,
is there another Mechan?
No, I'm giving you one option.
I want to take Self-Craft. Yes, that is what I want.
That is where I was landing to.
Yeah.
I ended up I feel like there are different choices you could make. I ended up making these choices, like a lot of these choices, partially because I wanted to I really wanted to play this Elegy Acolyte. So I kind of wanted to just be blue. Like if I'm not seeing black cards, I'm just be blue.
I was thinking the same thing too. Yeah, it's like maybe sometimes I take Radiant Strike over it, but with this Elegy Acolyte, like if I'm playing it, I'm taking a blue card to be in blue black. I also just like being blue black as a. I like the decks that are birthed from that space. Anyway, all right, we have these now, and our options here are Starfield Shepherd, which is like a very strong rate, but if Elegy Acolyte was like a black card, like maybe like around like Codecracker or below that rate, I would probably be looking at this Starfield Shepherd, as I think it's a really strong card. But there's also a Mechanizoa. And not much else. I've not really been impressed by Greenhouse. The rest of the commons are kind of derpy. I think I kind of want to keep on just running the blue life, because I think this card's also pretty nice.
I agree. Before I saw Mechanizoa in the pack, I was thinking Starfield Shepherd just has the best likelihood to make our deck times quality in our deck of any card in this pack, because the quality in our deck is so high, and I would just take it as a speculation, similar to the argument for Edge Rover, except it's probably less likely but more powerful. I wouldn't even say less likely. When we took the Edge Rover in the other draft, it was extremely unlikely. But yeah, Mechanizoa though is pretty good. I'm happy to have it in blue decks, and we want to be in blue already. So I think that edges out the Shepherd, but it's somewhat close because the Shepherd is just a really strong card.
Yeah, Shepherd is definitely a tier above Mechanizoa at least, but Mechanizoa is still good enough, I think, as a card. And just a card I structurally.
This is an important question in the chat. Is Shepherd not a somewhat strong signal? I think signal, as we were talking about earlier, is the wrong way to think about it. Yeah. Right? It's not that signals aren't real. It's that you will naturally follow signals if you're taking strong cards because they're strong. And so you should just take strong cards because they're strong. You shouldn't take them because they're signals, if that makes sense.
The thing about, there's a lot of different, I think the thing to take away also, there are a lot of different worlds with the drafters to our right that result in Starfield Shepherd being passed to us. And some of those worlds don't mean we can actually. Yeah. Trying to key into signals is not a reliable. And so it's more important to think about, okay, how could, like, what we can engage with more is like, how can we build a deck? Like, even if white was pretty open and we take this, what does our deck actually look like? That's what matters more. And I think...
Yeah, Aaron, that is what I'm saying, basically. We should take it because it's strong if we're going to take it. It's like a card that would be really good in the deck if we end up in a white deck, or a deck that could like splash it, which is weirdly possible because it tutors up its own second source. But like that, I think, is the better way to frame why we would take it out of this pack. A lot of players would say, oh, it's a signal that white is open. I think the much more accurate way to like think about it is we would take it because it's a very good card that is still possible to make our deck, because any card is possible to make our deck. We're in pack 1.
Yeah. But
Okay, so what card do you think I took?
Mechanizoa.
Wrong!
Okay. Interesting.
Okay.
I think it's pretty close, honestly.
My reasoning. You can splash this card. I think that Shepherd is a card that I actively like splashing. Like I don't know. It's just like you just play 2 planes and then you know get the planes with the first with the warp, and then you just play your 3/2 flyer that draws a 1-drop.
Yeah. I mean, I will say there's some decks where like I don't want to play.
Yeah, I might not splash
I
it.
would definitely like it a little better, I think.
But like, I feel like you can, like, I don't know, in black you can generally get a whole carver, and that just makes it like very strong, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
no, I think this is reasonable. Like, I was not positive because I do think also like the more expensive cards get in your deck, the less of them you want to play in. And so like Mechanizoa is like a pretty good rate blue. It's a 6-drop. So I think this is reasonable.
Yeah, the reason why I didn't take Mechanizoa specifically, if Mechanizoa were like, I don't know, Cryo Shatter, I would take Cryo Shatter. But like, Cryo Shatter is both better than Mechanizoa and not a 6-drop. So
yeah.
Yep.
Cool. All right. Here we have some blue cards and some. They're all crap. I want to take one of the blue cards, and I want to take Mech and Shield.
Yes, I want defensive speed.
I think like Ilvor Lightjammer is a card I definitely in a deck. Elegy Acolyte, something we want to defend. It's like interesting, but I think like it's also a card that like other people do not prioritize highly, and we can if our deck like really looks, I'd say we can probably pick it up in a later pack. And yeah, defensive speed is nice.
I hate Shieldmate. I hate Shieldmate.
Okay, wait.
Really?
Soapbox and Shieldmate. Anti-pitch me on Shieldmate.
I don't know. 3/2, 3/2 that doesn't attack well, and like 3/2 that just trades down. It just like constantly trades down.
It's good at like stationing, and it's good at making you not die.
And it trades with 3.
So is Lightjammer. I don't know. CFT made me pay attention to Lightjammer, and I actively like Lightjammer, especially when I have an Acolyte.
That's fair. I mean, I have been like steadily going up on this card. I see that.
Also, just noting for us, people are saying that Mora's audio is cutting out in the chat.
Yeah.
Interestingly, like I am experiencing Jason's audio cutting out just as much as Mora's, but I think that's not happening for the stream.
Yeah.
So
I'm moving my mic closer to my mouth.
Yeah.
I've had this issue before. All right. Thank you for calling that out. Let me know if it happens again, I guess. All right. But yeah, moving on, we take Lightjammer. Here I want to take Nanoform Sentinel. I don't think there's really much else. Yeah.
Yep. Nanoform is a card I like pretty much like in most blue decks.
Yeah.
It's good at Drafter Beam, stations. Yeah. I would not say love. I would just, I like it. Like I'm probably playing it in almost every blue deck I have.
I disagree with that, I think, but also I've had very few opportunities to take and cut. So my personal experience is low on it. I think I want to take Whale here.
Whale.
Lightjammer.
Another Lightjammer.
I think it's just take another Lightjammer. Like, I guess the one question I have is like, what is the chance that we ever play 2 Lightjammers?
Sideboard card.
Sideboard card.
It's also not 0.
Yeah. That's just the question I have. Is like
I sided in the second one at least one game.
Nice.
in this run.
Ooh, we can take that card. Yay. This is a really hard pick. Anyway. Alright, so we have a bunch of blue, an Elegy Acolyte, a Starfield Shepherd, and a Melded Mox. We see this pack. Cards I'm looking at in this pack, given that, are Cryogen Relic, Beyond the Quiet. I think that's it.
Gene Pollinator fans in the chat. Do we have any of those on the stream?
Not allowed here.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident I want to take Cryogen Relic here, unless we're like really high on Beyond the Quiet, being like we're just gonna pivot a little bit into like full Esper space or just blue white and not play the Acolyte, which I'd be pretty uncomfortable with.
Yeah, I think it's not. Yeah, it's not clear to me that Beyond the Quiet a better card for where we're at right now than
I agree.
Relic. It's like possible. Like I think we're kind of set up in a space where we could take Beyond, but I think this card is just like in the color we're definitely in and similar quality for our deck.
Yeah, Cryogen Relic is really for people who aren't caught up.
Yeah, this card's nuts.
I think that so I will say I think that the most interesting part of the draft, which is pack 1, has like mostly passed. But I do think that one thing to keep in mind as we keep going through this draft is that I think this draft is a good example of why getting paid off for the decision in pack 1 of like sticking with one card, like just like taking a bunch of blue cards and like not messing around with other things, because they're kept being like good blue cards to take.
Yep. With the notable exception being Shepherd, but yeah. All right. We have our bunch of blue cards. We have a Shepherd and an Elegy Acolyte. See a pack with Servandum and nothing really else.
Yeah, I'm taking Servandum here.
Scrounge for Eternity is a card that's like kind of impressed me. Right? It's pretty awkward.
It is not impressed me.
Servandum is like pretty splashable, just very, very, very good. It kind of just like grows counters like crazy.
Okay, you should also highlight Future Pick.
Interesting.
It did impress me in this draft. I was very impressed with it, and specifically this deck. We'll get to why at the very end.
I assume it's because you have an Elegy Acolyte and a Servandum.
We can talk about it at the end.
And a Meccan, I guess. Yeah.
No, I guess I'm not that surprised by this. The deck is not often playable, but like has spots where it's kind of nice.
No, this is Ryan Condon, not Ryan Sachs. It's a different Ryan.
All right. So yeah, I'm taking Servandum.
A different draft-obsessed Ryan.
Yippee. All right. With these, we see this pack. And in this pack, we have cards that I'm considering.
Hello, we just got rated.
Oh, hello. Thank you, Terry Bad MTG, for the...
Yeah, we're doing draft log reviews. We did a very long draft log review of Ryan's Arena Open draft, where we went on a very long tangent about speculating on a green card. Now we're doing
for the real limited streamers.
So what you're saying, as a callback, we should take this Caveron Harry.
No. Right now we're looking at my draft number 2, which I think is a little less interesting. But like, and we're mostly past the like most interesting part of pack 1. But I do think that there still are like maybe a couple more interesting spots, and also an interesting note that like open colors are a lie sold to you by a big color to I don't know.
I think like it's interesting to see how floating this Elegy Acolyte. An important part of this draft front to end is like our ability to play this card despite not picking cards is a like fundamentally important thing to see start to finish. So anyway,
right, and this is I think what Jason means when it says like we don't care about black being open, right? It is just about the black cards that are available to us to take in the packs, and therefore ending up in a deck that can play Elegy Acolyte.
And as we take strong cards, if we end up in a deck that can play Elegy Acolyte, that is like one possibility space. But like we're currently, with how we're drafting, we're just like, we have the most possible powerful decks to go into with this approach.
Okay, so what are we taking here?
Yeah, so here the cards I'm looking at, I think, are Command Bridge and Spec. I don't think anything else here interests me. Like Evoca Operative is a cheap card, but like not one that I think is like premium at all.
Some of the smaller like scans for me, I would say, just because of the Elegy Acolyte and liking card advantage. But I agree. I'm probably taking Specimen Freighter here and like maybe Command Bridge if we really want to shore up our mana.
Did you know that a certain combo for the sake of combo recently described Specimen Freighter as broken?
I didn't hear what you finished that as. What did CFT describe it as?
Broken?
Yeah, I like it's quite strong. I actually do
quite
really
strong.
value it.
Like I'm like, I think I want to take it. Like thinking about Commander, just can't mentally justify that one. But
yeah,
like it is nice. Like to be clear, I am interested in Commander.
Nanoform Sentinel and Mechan Navigator go a long way, I think, to make it pretty good in this deck. Also,
you mean the Freighter?
The Freighter, yeah.
Yeah, like I am thinking about Commander because I want to be like playing these cards, but
yes.
Like for the record, land type for Mechan, but
for the record, I still don't know how to feel about Freighter. I don't know how strong it is, but I took it.
Yeah, it's also. I feel similarly. I've had games where it's been where like I can't crew it, and I'm like, okay, I bounce 2 of your things. That's not great. All right. So now we see a bunch of cards, and then the card Godless Shrine, and I'm going to take the. So
I think you cut out, but yes, I would take Godless Shrine.
There's a Cabron Harrier.
Oh wait, shoot! I'm taking Cabron Harrier.
Throwback.
Sorry to all the raiders who have no idea what the fuck we're talking about.
Yeah. So so here, I mean, to be not too tongue in cheek, like the only cards I'm like, most of these cards are cards that I'm just like not great comments. Orbital Plunge is a good card, but us being in red is a lot.
Yeah, we want to splash white. We should take Godless Shrine.
Yeah. Yes. Godless Shrine just like lines up really nicely. There's not much else to say. Yeah. So let's move on. All right, here, the cards I'm looking at are Hole Carver, Mechanism, and I think those are the only ones. Let's see.
Yeah, I think I like Mechanizoa because it's, again, just continuing down the blue direction. We do have a good amount of expensive cards, but it's nice with spacecraft and crewing in them and stuff. We don't really still know like how deeply in black we are, although I'm pretty likely to be happy to be in black with Servandum and Elegy Acolyte. So I could see Hole Carver as just like more defensive speed, and it is also nice to pick up, as CFT really enjoys, with the tutor or return an artifact from your graveyard card. I forget what that's called. Scour for Scrap, I think.
Yeah, we don't have a Scour.
You really want one in blue black? We don't have one, but like it's sometimes quite easy to pick up. And like,
but you know what we do have? You know what we do have, which provides a very nice tiebreaker. Remember when I was talking about why I wanted to take a certain Starfield Shepherd?
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's actually a really good point.
Yeah, I still want to splash this Shepherd, so I'm like slamming this Hole Carver. Honestly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, oh, that's a really good point, yeah. No, I'm a big fan of taking Hole Carver as a result of that.
I do think I don't see Mechanizoa in packs enough.
Yeah,
but
I do think it's like a pretty actively good card.
But I mean, I agree with not taking it. So like,
yeah,
I don't know. Yep. So we do that.
It's funny that we took the Starfield Shepherd over the Zoa and now the Hole Carver over it. It's being
the whole package
by that this particular combination of cards.
It's like the Mechanizoa is handing us these on a.
I would like to take the other Mechan.
Yeah. All right. Here we have actually a couple options. We have Pinnacle Killship, we have Cryo Shatter, and we have I want to take.
I think I'm too much of a Cryo Shatter enjoyer to like consider the other cards here.
I would agree.
Yeah, we're also low on removal.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is like kind of his removal, but like this is really is like it's so efficient. Love this card. Yeah.
Don't cry
Alright.
over your shatter.
I want to take another hole carver. Is
I
that
agree.
a mana from Sentinel?
Having
Two
two is
upcharging
kind of
mimics.
nice because you can always tutor one with the either like Scar for Scrap or the card we already have.
You can
Shepherd.
also possibly tutor both of them. You warp
True.
in the shepherd and then you play the shepherd, and both times you get a hull cover because you already drew 2 white sources for some reason.
This is a thing that can happen when you have 2 white sources.
This is what
Gathering
the
deck.
text on the cards say.
This is true. Alright. Yeah, hole carver. Yep.
I think we can probably skip through the rest of this pack unless there's a
Oh.
particularly notable
This
pick.
was an interesting pick.
This is an interesting
Well, we
pick,
have a
yeah.
Cryogen Relic, so like
Yeah.
it makes sense.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I like did mentally checked out of Exorcist Savior, but that makes sense.
Yeah, I do think that I don't think that the rest of this draft is like that interesting. I do think it was
Yeah.
mostly the beginning part of like
Yeah.
pack one. There were some like
I
choice
do
moments.
think this Exosuit Savior pick is though notably like a very good example of the principle we were talking about after the like long discussion earlier, which is right, multiply the power in your final deck times the probability that it will be in that final deck, right? And like Ilvoy Operative is like a very low power in a final deck most of the time. It can be quite good if you're specifically in the blue-white double spelling archetype. But let's just say we pick up 2 more Cryogen Relics in pack 3. Because like that's somewhat realistic. That could happen.
That's so many Cryogen Relics. I don't think that'll happen.
No, we first pick one and then we like third pick one or something, right? Like
That's
that just happens.
Yeah, but like it's unlikely.
I mean, I should show
It's
that
unlikely,
screenshot.
right? I agree, it's unlikely. But what I'm saying is that makes Exosuit Savior like a premium card to some extent, right? Which
I'm not.
then is just like a large multiplier. So that's why we're taking this much more speculative card, because we are approaching each individual pick by saying potential power in our final deck times likelihood to make the final deck, and like that is a place where this outweighs a like medium 2-drop that we already have some of.
Yeah, I just didn't think I cared that much about Operative, and I was also thinking about like picking up Light Jammer and Hound.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Picking
also
up
like
Hound is like a little rich, but I did do it at least once.
Nice.
yeah.
It sort of lets you make the decision on whether you warped it later.
That is true. But usually not warping it means you want to trade it off immediately, so you know.
This is
You're
true.
mildly preparing.
All right, and so here, yeah, took Radiant Strike because Technician kind of sucks.
Yeah. This was actually interesting because like I did seriously consider
Null
whether
is
I
a
wanted
nice
Scrounge or a
sideboard.
Null. Like, yeah, a Null is nice sideboard, but okay, my justification for Scrounge is that like I already have a Cryogen Relic and like 1 or 2 Light Jammers, so that like gives some amount of fodder, and I already have some impactful cards like Shepherd, Vondum, Elegy Acolyte, possibly Starbreach Whale. Like I have like a bunch of impactful cards. I even have like a little ways of like putting them into the graveyard with like Mechan Navigator and Codecracker Hound. So like I kind of wanted to try it, and I thought that it would probably be good. It did end up very good.
Yeah. I love that you're somewhat collecting data in an Arena Open.
I don't know. I was pretty confident. All of this was a gift.
Yippee.
Definitely a gift.
All right, yeah, I mean, yeah. Duh.
I don't think we
Right.
even need to check. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
All right,
speaking of getting back Vondum with Scrounge.
We're taking
All right.
Cryo Shadow here, though, right?
No.
Actually, pick one. Our
Really?
options
Are we
here
that high
are
on Servandum?
Strip Mine,
Oh, there is a
Servandum,
strip mine. I don't think I'm
Prior
taking that.
Shatter.
No.
I don't think I like that card. I think. Go ahead.
Come on. Vondum is so strong when you cast it, and we can cast it. I believe.
Okay,
This
I guess
card
I was
has really
under the
impressive.
impression that it was really strong when cast. Like, I haven't had that experience yet with the card. It's mostly just been like, yeah, this is a really good creature if they can't remove it. Like, you'll get a nice trade with it, or like a nice life swing, and it's hard for them to race. but it doesn't read like premium to me. It doesn't bring you up on cards exactly. It doesn't really like trade off incredibly. It just trades off well. Maybe I'm underrating it.
It also like the give your team death touches like and pumping it can be like make combat like pretty horrible.
Yeah,
pretty
but we are
bad.
not really a go wide deck.
You don't
we
need
have
to be
two
go
Hulk
wide.
Harbors.
Like, I don't know. Like, let's just say I just have a random like Mechan Navigator and
Give, like, a
a
random
Code Cracker
hound
Hound
or
in play, right? Like, it lets me like push like 6 damage and also like swings my. It's just really strong life swing.
Yeah. It also like it negates when you have like cards like Code Cracker Hound, even like Self-Craft Mechan like as a 3/4. It negates the big green creature advantage pretty nicely. Like they can't double block, they can't eat your creature. Like it is powerful, and like obviously it's better if you have like a lot of creatures. That
I agree with all of this,
the,
but like I guess I would say
don't
I
think-
don't see Servandum as like meaningfully better than a Mechanizoa, for example.
Oh, highly
Maybe
disagree.
that's crazy, but it seems like Mechanizoa does a lot of similar things and is like in our base color or whatever. You know, like Servandum is kind of it's castable, but it's not like trivially castable.
To be clear, I would think all these great things about the death touch pump ability. I'm also like personally very high on the body. Like 4/4 death
maybe
touch
I just need to
like,
move up on this card.
Like,
I maybe am like still underrating it.
I think it's just like it is a high life swing and like a card that they expect and interact with in some way. And like, to be clear, I am still not sure if I would take it over Cryer Shatter here, but like, it is in the conversation for me, certainly. Like, how are we feeling about our removal right now? A Cryer Shatter?
Yeah, like not amazing.
Scroll down.
Oh yeah, we have Radiant Strike. That's true. Yeah, that helps. Servandum's removal if you squint.
Yeah.
True. I in fact used it as removal at some point.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think I might take Cryer Shatter at this point, but I would that I was correct. I think. And I think it's also worth noting, Strip Mine, not great in normal. It's like, sometimes, yeah, you get them, but a lot of the time it's a colorless land that just makes things. And like, the later the game gets, the less relevant it gets.
With the lander format, I feel like it's tough to get people as much too.
It can be a good sideboard card into like specifically opponent and splash colors, but
yeah. Anyway, let's move on.
Yeah. Depressurize is much worse than Cryer Shatter. To address chat, but yeah.
Agreed. Moving on, we see.
I wish.
Yeah, I don't think we can.
And so the cards I'm considering here are Ouroboros because it's just that good, but
Would you hate draft at the PT? Maybe.
Maybe, honestly. Like, I never hate draft, but like in a PT pod, taking away an Ouroboros might actually be important enough. The card is that good.
Yeah, but I mean, besides notably, yeah. Okay, so
I think here I'm taking Grappack Monoist though.
Yeah, that was gonna say the Arbiter Graphic Monoist and like this card, Pedigree Record is pretty good. I don't love it in our deck. Not really set up to like take advantage of pushing damage or like doing weird sacrifice things. Okay.
This is pick
nice with our
pack 3, pick 2.
Yeah, it is definitely possible to see Ouroboros pack 3, pick 2 and a Pro Tour draft.
Yeah.
I would not call it likely, but I would definitely call it possible.
Yeah. We also, if we find...
Notably, I got past a Saz, the like 3 and a green, 3/3 thing from Final Fantasy that tutors up a bird. Pack 2, pick like 4 or 5 at an actual PT draft. So weird stuff happens.
Notably, we also have this Mecha Navigator. Yeah, okay. I think, I like Monoist. Moving on.
Yeah, Monoist is just solid.
Yeah.
This one's easy.
Orc. Yar.
Yep.
Yeah, and the rest of the cards aren't as good.
Yeah, like I don't think the rest of this is that
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Like
We have
relic,
relic.
Not
Yeah.
fair. Relic, take a this
sideboard,
pack-
sideboard card.
PP.
Why not?
Yeah.
Another removal spell is
Yeah, more
nice.
removal. Wow.
Oh, interesting. I guess
You were
yeah.
correct, Ryan. We could get the 2 relics, in fact 3 somehow. But
Yeah. Crash.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, this pack is nuts for us.
Yeah, the pack is crazy.
Yeah, this was an exercise in just like I don't know. I didn't. There's like no. I got very few good black cards, but like I don't know. I just had a very solid blue core, and that just
Yeah.
like it doesn't really matter after that.
Yep.
Yep.
Agree on
Yeah,
that.
this deck's real good.
But yeah, I ended up playing the Scrounge and pretty consistently scrounged back like Elegy Acolyte or like Servandum or something like that. At some point, my opponent thought seized me and saw my hand was Scrounge, Elegy Acolyte, Servandum, and while I had a Cryogen Relic in play, and they like tanked for a little bit and took the Scrounge. It was really funny.
That's wild.
That's really funny. Nice.
It was nice. But yeah. This
Cool.
deck this deck went 3-1. And then unfortunately got cut short by the fact that apparently the 4-0 like event, like so if you go 4-0 in draft 1, you're supposed to be able to play until you get 2 losses or 4 wins in draft 2, but for some reason they messed that up this time, and I got stopped at 3-1, which was not how the event should have worked. It was based on what how it was described. So I know a bunch of other people who have had this happen to them as well, including Alan Wu. So
that's like really sucky and unfair.
Like so much,
should be an issue that we like raised to Wizards.
I have not gotten a response yet. I submitted a ticket. I know several other people have as well. It's the weekends.
Right. It's very unclear if they're going to be able to refund or give you any kind of compensation for that, because the compensation would just be like assuming you won your match, and that they can't do. But that's awful.
They can give everyone 500 because like half the people matches.
Theoretically, yeah. I don't know what they'll do. I'm not
very confident they're not going to do that, unfortunately.
Yeah. I don't know what they're gonna do. I'm like, unfortunately, like I think the most likely outcome, unfortunately, is that I get a bunch of Monopoly money, aka gems, that I don't care about because like I have too many gems. But it's fine. I already I'm getting at least 1K. That's great. But yeah.
Yeah.
The deck that this lost to was a pretty insane looking blue-red deck that game 2 they cast 2 Pinnacle Emissaries. And that was very hard to keep up with.
Seems difficult.
Yeah. Anyways, anything else before we wrap up?
This was fun. I really appreciated that we got like deep in the weeds. Unfortunately, most of the people who joined with the raid weren't able to catch that, but it should be in the VOD. We dove really deep on my Arena Open day or draft 1, and at some point got, I think, some really good like draft navigation theory out of a discussion about a pick and how to like prioritize openness versus card quality versus the cards already in your pool and what you actually think you're going to end up in a draft. So yeah, if people want to check that out, I would definitely recommend it.
Yeah. Thank you all for watching. We'll try to continue this every week. We even have a fancy new starting soon screen to incentivize. Next week probably
waterLOGged teachings.
Indeed.
One day we'll do logs of otter.
Next week, we won't be doing Arena Open probably, but or I guess Arena the Arena qualifier weekend is all sealed, so like probably not that unless you want to look at like sealed build. I'm not that interested in looking at sealed
builds. Not relevant for the Pro Tour.
Yeah.
Let's just get some good draft logs this week.
Yeah. I'll probably
get into single limb mines.
Well, I want to get into the modern mine, so I might like do like
Yeah,
one or
I
two
also
single
need to do
ones.
that.
We'll see.
Yeah,
We'll see.
same.
Maybe we'll outsource. But yeah. You, if you want to see VODs, I will upload them to YouTube. I swear this time I will actually do it. Anything else you want to say before we sign off?
No.
No, that's it. Looking forward to seeing people
Thanks
next
all for
week.
watching. Yeah.
And yes, confirming with chat, the qualifier weekend is all sealed. Friday there's a best of 3 play-in,
Okay,
and
wait.
then it's
I
just.
do want to say one thing, which is Soapbox sealed is a skill-based format. Everyone, I agree that I enjoy draft better, and that sealed has some annoying like variant stuff in it. But the best sealed players win super consistently in sealed, arguably more consistently than in like any other Magic format. If you are frustrated with the variants in sealed, get good. I say this to myself because I did really poorly in like the day ones sealed decks yesterday, but like this is my opportunity to be on a soapbox with this. Sealed is a really good Magic format. Everyone should get better at it.
I would also like to claim that qualifier weekend is best of sealed, which is
Yes,
sealed.
best of one is definitely a lot worse than best of 3 sealed. Like so meaningfully worse because sideboarding is a huge part of sealed. But anyway, sealed is good.
Anyways, do either of you know anyone who's on that I should raid? Otherwise, I'll raid someone random.
Let me
I
see.
do not know.
I don't think I have anyone.
No one on my
magical
following
related.
list. But I also don't follow that many people because I'm not that
I
active
don't
on
follow
Twitch.
that many magic people, so I don't see any magic people. I can give you non-magic.
Maybe we can raid a Celeste stream now.
You
I'll raid
can
some
raid,
random.
you can raid Ninswiz is streaming Celeste.
I'll raid a random magic stream.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you all for watching. See you next week. Hopefully.
Let's raid like a stream with very few followers, just to or like
Yeah,
very few
I rated a
viewers.
stream. Yeah, I rated a stream with very few viewers. I generally
Nice.
bias towards that. Yeah.
Awesome.
Enjoy Modern. Apparently. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.